You know what? At this point, you cannot tell me that Eric Ten Hag is a terrible coach, because he is a very good coach. Now, if you look at what he's had to deal with since he got there, and I'm gonna give you straight, he's had to deal with the Ronaldo situation. He's had to deal with the Harry Maguire situation. He's had to deal with the Mason Greenwood situation. And he's had to deal with the Sancho situation, Anthony situation, Martial also situation. And now he's had to deal with Marcus Rashford. It's like a problem after problem after problem after problem after problem. And with Rashford, he was spotted in Belfast. I don't know if he was in a club or if he was spotted at a pub or a bar or something. And then he reported in as sick the next day for training, and which means he couldn't make it for the starting lineup, or he couldn't even make it for the game. And then we went on to play the worst game I've ever seen Manchester United play this season. I know most of the games we've been playing, we were losing. And then the one we win, I say it was the worst. The reason why I say it was the worst game, even though we won, even though we had Anthony score 2 goals, even though we had Garnacho scoring, even though we had Hoyland scoring, is the simple fact that we had our wingers who had more shots than our main striker himself. Our striker had 1 shot. Meanwhile, Garnacho had 6 shots. Meanwhile, Anthony had 6 shots. Meanwhile, what's his name? Fernandez had 4 shots. There is a clear problem. If your striker has to drop down, deep down within the field, to go fetch the ball that you should be feeding him, and then he scores from scraps, it shows the issue is within the players. It's the players who want the glory every single time. The players, they're supposed to play as a team, not as individuals. And now with the issue with Rashford, you have reporters asking Eric Ten Hag questions left, right, and center, and he's having to say it's an internal matter. I understand that part. Yes, it is an internal matter, and not everyone should be involved in that internal matter. But we must not just overlook the fact that he did blast Sancho on national television, and he kind of didn't blast, Rashford for that, for what he's just done now. Now, of course, if you're a player like Rashford, you're already having people on your case. You have fans on your case. The worst thing you want to do is to be seen out in the pub and then you report in sick the next day. First of all, what are you doing in the pub when you know you're supposed to play a match that week? Aren't you supposed to be training? Aren't you supposed to be eating well? Aren't you supposed to be staying away from things that will make you sick? And meanwhile, you just end up in a pub, and then people spot you, take a picture of you, and then they send it, and then they say, "Oh, Marcus Rashford was so in the pub," and then he can't make it for training, and they can't make it for FA Cup. FA Cup is the only chance to have a cup that we have left for this season. Since we got knocked out of all of these other competitions, this is the only chance we have to have a cup. And you go on and you decide you wanted to do your own thing. You decide you want to go out and grab a drink, and the drink will make you sick for training the next day, and you can't play. And you are one of our main players. And what makes it worse is this man just signed like a 5-year contract. So which means he can do whatever he wants. We can't do anything. We can't touch him. He can literally decide, I want to stay out my contract, if we decide to mess with him. So this is the situations. And people, I don't understand when fans say we need to get rid of Eric Ten Hag because he's not doing the best job. He's trash. I'm like, you cannot expect him to perform, for the team to perform at its best when you're having to deal with so many issues. It cannot happen. He's trying to do his best he can. The best we can do is to be behind him, help him. But yeah, of course, Manchester United supporters are a little bit toxic, just like every other supporter out there. When things are going well, we're all good, we're all happy, just like what happened last season. We're all happy that Ten Hag was actually taking us places. And in this season, he's having to deal with so much issues, and now we're like, no, he's trash, let's get rid of him. But this is what's going on with United. If you think whatever I just said was just trash, nonsense, and non-factual, leave a comment down below and I'll pretty much respond to it. But this is what I think about Marcus Rashford and what the situation is like and what he's put his coach into.